Good day, sir. I am Isel Inting from Base IT3C, and this is our capstone project which uses Express.js API. So today in this video, I'm going to explain the highlighted part of code in the screen. So sa kaning line kaning const express equals require express. So nagkuha ni og express module, usa ka sikat nga library sa Node.js nga gigamit para maghimo og web server og API. Then kaning const router equals express.router, nag-create ni og router gamit sa express. Kini maghandle sa mga ruta o endpoints, mga URL paths sa imong app. Pwede nimo i-separate ang mga ruta para mas limpyo ang code. Then kaning const con equals require nya kaning router config database, nagkuha ni sa database configuration gikan sa config database nga file. Kasagaran kini nag-connect sa MySQL o uban pang database para mag-query sa data. Then kaning const auth middleware equals require nya kaning route middleware auth, nagkuha ni sa auth middleware gikan sa auth.js nga naa sa middleware folder. Kini nga middleware kasagaran gigamit para i-check kung ang user naka-login ba or authorized ba siya mosulod sa route. Then ari sa line 7, every route here uses an authentication middleware to ensure that only login users can access them. The middleware also attaches the user's role and ID to the request.user object. Then this first route returns all screen linked to the authenticated parent. It begins with a role check. Only users with the parent role are allowed. And this first route returns all children linked to the authenticated parent. It begins with a role check. Only users with the parent role are allowed. Then the API pulls all record from the children table where the parent ID matches the login user. And that's all my part. Thank you.
So I am Michelle Kilyamas from BS IT3C. So I am going to explain the highlighted area part, which is the creating a child profile. So this route allows parents to create a new child profile. Required fields include name, date of birth, and gender. Then, once validated, the child profile is saved in the database linked by the parent ID. So, this route retrieves a specific child profile but only if the child belongs to the login parent. Then, the query adds a second check for the parent ID, enforcing a strict ownership of records. Then, to updating a child profile, we need to use route to allow parents to create a new child profile. Then, to require the fields include name, date of birth, and gender. So, the API also validates gender input to ensure data consistency. So, once validated, the child profile is saved in the database linked by the parent. Then, by the parent ID, So, to view a specific child, we need to use also the router.get by ID. This route retrieves a specific child profile, but only if that child belongs to the login parent. So, and add a query to check the parent ID, enforcing strict ownership of records. Then, the put route let parents update the child information. So, it starts by sanitizing the input to prevent updates to protected fields like ID or parent ID. Then, it dynamically builds an SQL set clause based on the submitted fields. So if the update succeeds, it fetches and returns the updated child profile. That's all. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Daryl Arias. In this video, I'm going to help you understand on how to read this program code that connects to a MySQL database. We'll break down each line so you know exactly what it's doing and why it's here. Let's line by line breakdown. In line 1, we need to import the MySQL library. This line is saying, hey Node.js, I want to use the MySQL2 library in this file. The required function loads external module, and in this case, we're loading the module that let us talk to MySQL database. In line 3 to 7, create the database connections. This is where we define our connection settings. Let's read the objects. Host. The host, local host, means the database is running on your own computer. The database pediatric appointment system, this is the name of the database you want to connect to. The user route, user root, the username you use to access MySQL. The password, YSUD. Here it's an empty string, meaning no password. All of this gets passed into MySQL.create connection, which creates a connection object and stores it in the variable con. In line 9 to 14, we need to try to connect this part actually tries to connect to the database. Here's how it works. We call con.connect. This starts the connection process. It takes a callback function with argument ERR. If ERR exists, that means something went wrong, so we print an error message. If not, we print successfully. In the final line, we need to export the connections. These lines let us reuse the connection in other files. By exporting con, we can import it anywhere else in our app using require. Close and open parentheses, comma, .db.js or whatever your file is named. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is RGT Fabrigar. Before we will proceed to another topics, let me explain first the GWT in the middleware. What or why GWT? JSON Web Tokens or GWT allow stateless authentication, which means the server does not need to keep track of session. Instead, the token itself holds the user identity and permission. As you can see, the cons GWT equals required open parentheses and open parentheses on quotation JSON Web Token close parentheses and cons secret underscore k equals processors dot and b dot gwt underscore secret. Your the underscore secret then key. We import the GW tokens or JSON Web Tokens package and define the secret key used to sign and verify tokens. It is practice to store this in an environmental variable. Cons out middleware calls open parentheses request comma rest comma next then close. This is our custom express middleware. It checks each request for a valid token. Tons auto header equals reg dot header open parenthesis authorization close parenthesis. Cons token auto header double and auto header dot split close and open. Here we are extract the token from the authorization header, which should be in the format bearer token.
So, I am Taneo JJ. I am going to explain the highlighted part. If no token is found, the middleware returns a unauthorized error. Then verify the token. If it is valid, we attach the user data to request user, making it accessible in all protected routes. If invalid or expired, we return a forbidden error. By attaching old middleware to a route, we ensure that only user with invalid tokens can access it. This pattern enforces security without storing session state. JSON with token offer a scalable, secure way to handle authentication and RESTful APIs. Middleware like this ensure all protected routes require valid tokens, keeping your app safe and stateless.
Hello guys, I'm John Ryan Enoch and I will discuss the auth or authentication. This API allows 2K operations such as user registration and login, and we also handle validation, hashing, and token generation securely. And we start by importing our dependencies just like Bcrypt, JSON Web Token, and etc. Then Express for routing, Bcrypt for password security, and JSON Web Token for authentication. And we also load the database connection and our secret key for signing tokens. NF, name, email, password, role. And we validate that all required fields are present and ensure the role of either parent or pediatrician. And in the code is cons existing users cons await con that promise query, and cons hash password equals await Bcrypt that hash password limit is 10. Then we check the database to see if the email is already registered, and if not, we hash the password using Bcrypt with a salt round of 10. Then we insert the new user into the database. If successful, we return a success message and the new user's ID. Then the login route handles authentication. It verifies the user's credentials and returns a JAW token if valid. That's all, guys.
Hi guys, I'm Jet Lawrence Tero. We find the user by email, then use Bcrypt to confirm the provide password with the #1 in the database. And for the token generation, we need to call the cons token. Create a token by signing the user ID, email, and role using a secret key, and make the token expire in 1 hour. If the password is correct, we sign a token by signing the user email, user ID, email, and role. The token is valid for 1 hour and can be used for future authenticate requests.